live broadcast. It's so nice to have you guys here. I'm going to move YouTube out of the way there. It seems kind of bright. I'm at Central Standard Time on Thursday. Tonight we're going to piggyback off of our discussion from where we talked our gut health and how it's related to our brain. Tonight we're going to talk about gut instincts and what those gut instincts might mean for us and our overall health. While we're waiting for people to jump on, I'm going to take a second to go ahead and introduce myself. If you are new, please take a second to hit that like button on Facebook or the subscribe button on YouTube. That way you will hopefully be notified live. There are some notification steps that you can take as well. Not just hitting that like button or subscribe button, but there's you can actually select to be notified when we go live. So make sure that you guys take that second step. And then always make sure that you comment when you're on live. Leave me a message. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know if you're one of our course students or if you are new to our community. Michael, can you do me a favor? Can you fix that light for Facebook? It's super, super dark. Like it's super dark. I don't know. You have to come look at it. Today, like I said, we're going to talk about gut instincts and listening to some of those signs and signals that our gut is sending us, and maybe see if we can identify those gut instincts with some things that have kind of going a little wrong with us as we start to go through the aging process. So my name is Diane. For the past 25 years, I have been finding nutritional programs and fitness plans to help them look and feel their best and live their most authentic life. And now, as a certified, I'm using my expertise in coaching as well as my own personal life experiences as going through and the aging process to myself. And what I have done to really change my own personal philosophies about nutrition and health and exercise, and had the opportunity to heal all the things that were going wrong in my body, and have created this new environment or this new way of living our lifestyle by taking some of the best of intermittent fasting and the best practices of a keto-like lifestyle, merging the two together, and really creating a life where we can look and feel our best and live our most authentic life. So welcome if you're new. I appreciate you all being here. For all of you who are coming back, and I know that my European ladies are here with us tonight or this afternoon, so thank you so much for joining us as well. So gut instincts, we're always taught to listen to them, right? We listen to them in signs of danger. We're in times of danger, we're taught to listen to them where we feel uneasy about a situation. Our instincts are also super tied into our fight and flight instincts, where we kind of create to get ourselves out of a dangerous situation or a means of survival. We're used our gut instincts or taught to use our gut instincts to make like major life decisions. We use our gut instincts about people that we are attracted to or maybe not attracted to. Gut instincts for just about every major life decision. But when it comes about associating gut instincts with what's going on in our body, ourselves, we always use our gut instincts as sort of a sense that we use things on maybe the outside of ourselves. So we take it on an outward sort of decision basis. But let's think for a second, what gut instincts and brought them inward and really used what it was that we felt about things that we were doing, practices that we had in our life, or maybe some habits that we have, or some things that we have been blindly following, and really put them into perspective with what it is our gut is trying to tell us. And when this was happening to me, I wasn't really relating the signs and signals that my body was sending me with my gut instincts. But now that I'm on the other side of things, and you have that like 20, and you can look back on a situation and go, oh, now that makes sense why I was feeling XYZ when I was doing this, and what my body was kind of screaming at me about. And when you put all the pieces together, it makes sense. And so let's consider our gut instinct. When we are not sleeping at night, or experiencing hot flashes, or we're frustrated with the weight that we can't lose, or we're feeling fatigued or super stressed out, our gut is sending us signals about that. But we associate that as sort of an outside influence and really never consider it being an internal influence. But our gut is now being considered our second brain, powerful actually than our actual brain in what it does in regards to that's going on with our body and controlling what happens to our body in the end. And if we continue to treat our gut like a disposal, or we fill it full of trash, or we are not taking care of it, like maybe we've tried to take care of our brain, or maybe even the way we've tried to take care of our skin, or the way we've tried to take care of our heart. Like all of those are things, components of our body that we take care of because we don't want them to break down, or we don't want them to fail on us. You know, we're not going to do anything that's going to put our brain in danger. We're never going to do anything to put our heart in danger. We take measures to make sure that we protect our skin, the largest, or we protect it from the sun, we protect it from heat, we protect it from, you know, all kinds of danger. But do we ever stop to consider taking the same care with our gut? And sometimes I think we take this so lightly as, oh, it was just you know, whatever we ate, or yeah, I understand that drinking might not be the best for me, but it helps me relax, or gluten issues, or dairy issues, or the big dilemma these days, which seems to be the soy issues. And what if those very simple everyday practices are the things that are breaking our gut down slowly? And if our gut is breaking down, and it is the thing that's speaking to the rest of our body and sending signals to our organs, and sending signals to the rest of the mechanisms in our body that we want to work correctly, and filling it full of trash, or refilling it full of these things that are causing our tolerant type of reactions, inflammatory issues, cognitive decline, weight gain, fat storage, diabetes, insulin resistance, leptin resistance, which we just learned about in our course, then we have to start considering these things that we're doing to our gut and taking that special care to make sure that it's happy. Our gut is going to treat the rest of it in a happy way, in a caring way. And so I think it is really time for us to not be so afraid of being that person that is what we considered in most crowds of people as the outcast, right? Like, it's so hard to understand that we're intermittent fasting. Like, how could you go 12 hours without eating anything? That's absurd. Or how is it that you don't eat dairy anymore? Or, oh, you're jumping on the gluten-free bandwagon. Or taking basic, better care of ourselves because our gut instincts are telling us to do that. And when your gut instincts get to the point where they're telling you that you need to take care of yourself, it can often be too late, because things like pre-diabetic states happening to people who think that they're already living a healthy life, young women suffering pre-diabetic and diabetic states these days they're rampant. What we're doing to our brain and our cognitive breakdown, and the number of women now who are suffering just very basic but preliminary stages of dementia and Alzheimer's disease, with forgetting where their keys are and where's my purse, and did I park my car over here today, or did I park? I remember. And for me, it was not remembering the names of my own children. That is gut instinct. That was my gut trying to warn me that the things that I was putting into it and the lifestyle that I was living, albeit healthy, was not the best for me. And it took me getting sick to tune into those gut instincts. And I've always called those the signs and symptoms, right, of what your body is trying to speak to you. But what it really is the signs and signals that your gut is sending you to let you know that there's some warning flags going up, that there's some areas in your life that you really need to start paying attention to, or else they're going to break down, or else you're going to lose them. And we got to stop being afraid of worrying about what other people are thinking about us. Yes, I jumped from bandwagon years ago when I was completely ridiculed for jumping into a crowd I didn't belong in because I wasn't a celiac. So how dare I jump into the gluten-free community when I didn't belong there? But now we know, a few years later, that you don't have to be a celiac to be affected negatively by gluten. Gluten is that thing that is probably the major reason why so many women are suffering their cognitive abilities and seeing them decline and feeling the rash reality of what a lot of these intolerances are doing to ourselves. The soy dilemma, like, if you have a reaction to soy, it's okay to be eliminating soy from your diet. You don't have to have someone prove to you that you're going to get breast cancer to eliminate soy from your diet. If soy's bothering you, you're going to know it. Just eliminate it. You don't have to justify the fact that you just don't feel good or your hormones are not going to be in balance if you're eating soy. It's okay. Or dairy. If you're bloated and gassy and inflammatory and have asthma and allergies when you're consuming dairy, it's okay to eliminate dairy. Those are your gut instincts. When you put something in your gut and your gut immediately in return sends you a signal, that's an instinct. And I think we owe it to ourselves to really be paying attention to these gut instincts, not just in times of danger, not just in times for survival, but in times of our health and overall well-being, because we now know that the gut is the central area or the mechanism that's controlling all other aspects of what's going on in our body's systems, including what's going on in our brain. And I think we've always been taught to do it the other way around. Listen to your brain and your body will follow. And now we're finding that we really need to be listening to those gut instincts. They're not going to deceive you and they're not going to be exaggerated. They're going to tell you the truth, and they are going to be the true warning signals when something in your body is about to break down. And we want to listen to them intuitively. We want to make sure that we have an action plan and that we're so conscious about what we're doing in our everyday life that when we do something, we'll immediately be able to connect it to that gut instinct and that sign and signal that our body is sending to us that this thing is no longer working for us. And you don't have to justify it to anyone, and you don't have to worry about what people are thinking about you. All you need to worry about is paying attention to that gut instinct. And you start to make the corrections and you start to change the things that are causing you the problems, and your gut will respond in kind by eliminating those instincts that are bad and start sending you the signals that you're doing the right thing. And those signals will come when your body starts to heal, you start to feel better, and you can experience what we experience here, and that's called the energized sense of calm. So I'm going to jump on and see who's here with us today at our 3 o'clock hour and the closeout for our live broadcast for this week. So I'm going to go to Facebook first. So hold on just a second, YouTube, and I'll be right over there with you. Janet, nice to have you here, girlfriend. Elaine, hello. Carrie's good to have you here from Italy, girlfriend. And we need to try to connect sometime this weekend or early next week. Okay, Carrie, so just reach out to me. Lynn Ann, new member of the January course. Welcome. Cindy, nice to have you from cold North Dakota. Oh, girlfriend, what was it this morning, Michael? Like 50s or something? 50s, and I think it's supposed to snow tonight or something. So, it's crazy here in Texas. Bridget, good to have you here, new member. Sharon, it's all about the microbiome. You're exactly right, girlfriend. Liz, hello. Hi, Liz says hello to you, Michael. Michael says hello back. Trudy from Florida, good to have you here. Gina, hi. Lori Ann, alumni 2018 girly, feel blessed to have this time free to join you. Oh, would love to have you here too. Michael already said hello. Hello, Susan, Michelle. Paula is here from alumni group. Vanessa, hi from Puerto Rico. Thank you for the new daytime live broadcast. Oh, Vanessa, you're welcome. We like it too. It feels really good. Maria from Pennsylvania. Been watching Diane and Aya for a while, and finally in January course. I highly recommend joining. I've learned so much. Oh, Maria, just wait. We're only in week 1. We have 2 more great weeks of learning ahead of us. So thanks for finally jumping in with us and being a loyal follower. Debbie, welcome. Lori, I've learned so much from you in the last 6 months. Very excited what there is to learn as we move forward. I can now look back and see what was happening with my body, what my body was telling me. Yeah, it's the hindsight part of it's amazing, right? And we're blessed to be able to catch some of these things in the early stages when they're still correctable. So my best advice to women is always stay conscious, right? Always stay connected to yourself. And we're in such a society now where we have so many distractions, and we want that immediate gratification, and everything's moving quickly, and we pay a fraction of attention to 10 things at one time, and we're missing a lot of these signs and signals. So the great thing when you're intermittent fasting and you're living the keto-like lifestyle is things feel like they finally start to slow down in life, and you do have the opportunity to really have the extra time and the extra attention and the extra energy to pay attention to what is going on in your body. And I think that's one of those added little blessings that we don't stop to consider, because I don't know, maybe we just take that for granted. I don't know, maybe you guys aren't taking that for granted. I know I don't take that for granted anymore, to really be slowed down enough to have that time, to have the relationship with your body that we need to have to figure out what's going on with us. Wendella from Sweden, nice to have you here from Sweden. I feel great, and I fast between 16 and 22 hours depending on how my day looks. That's great, and the flexibility part of it is amazing, so congratulations for figuring that out as well. Anna, good to have you here from Tampa. Linda from Jennifer from New York City in the January course. So good to have you here. Christine, hello. Ruthie, what is your advice on fasting 24 hours or longer? I find once I get past a small window of hungry, I can go several hours longer. Recommend if possible. Ruthie, we talk about that in the course a lot, and what they're finding through research and stuff is that once you go beyond like the 36th hour of fasting, that you actually do a reversal in your metabolic burn rate. So intermittent fasting, mixing food with feasting or fasting, is an opportunity for your body to increase or improve its metabolic burn rate, and anything after 36 hours actually slows your metabolism down. Now, with that being said, there's therapeutic reasons why you should fast for longer than 24 hours, and it's been being used in the medical community a lot with epilepsy patients and cancer treatment, as well as using extended fasting to lessen the effects of chemo and radiation treatments in cancer patients. So for medical reasons, beyond 36 hours is what they're using therapeutically, but you should be doing that under the direct supervision of a medical team. For the average person who's just looking for the benefits of fasting and feasting well, which is being in ketosis, fat burning, increased energy, cognitive repair, all that kind of stuff, I personally intermittent fasting within a 24-hour period. Now you can go beyond 24 hours, occasionally. That's always good to kind of just do a quick fix, or maybe if you're feeling sluggish or you're feeling a cold coming on or a flu coming on, fasting is always the best way to heal your body. So I say you want to use beyond 24 hours in like a pinch, but really get into the rhythm of 24-hour intermittent fasting is the best. Carla from Iowa, my gut instinct today is I did a little overeating at lunch. Definitely learned this experience is not good after doing so well all week. Why in the world do I do that? Oh, well, I am still a student and learning. Thanks, Diane. Carla, we discussed that in our social and emotional week. So I always say just chalk those up as learning experiences. And the best thing to do is not beat yourself up by negative self-talk and all that kind of thing. Just go, oh wow, I kind of learned there, I guess I won't do that again, and then just move into your fast. If you overeat at lunch, I always suggest the best thing to do is fast till the next day. So maybe fast through tonight, and then maybe midday tomorrow, a little later, break your fast, and then just get back into your normal rhythm. So that's a pretty quick fix for sure. Carrie, I'm still not well, but was hoping we could link up this weekend. I will email you. Okay, sounds good. And then we'll just do like a live call or something. Candace from Canada, welcome. Vicky, doing 18 hours, loving the feeling of thin. Yeah, that's nice too. So nothing tastes as good as thin feels, is in my opinion. Or we say now in our community is nothing tastes as good as the energized sense of calm. So if you keep telling yourself that, then you'll be able to say no thank you to a lot of those quick fix food items that we tend to go to emotionally. Candace, welcome. Vicky, hello. Sandy, hello. Chris, I realized last night that cream cheese and nuts are not good. Had a breakout, trying to get some extra fats in, but by eating the wrong way, it blew up on me. Chris, it was the cream cheese that did it to you, probably not the nuts. So you probably have a little bit of a lactose intolerance, and cream cheese is probably one of those low-end dairy products that I would highly recommend you staying away from. So I'm guessing it was the cream cheese. Candace, is it good to do IF with keto? We do intermittent fasting with a keto-like lifestyle. So if you're following a ketogenic diet in the true sense of it, and you're really like hyper limiting your carbohydrates, then intermittent fasting might be too much to go in with it. But combining the two gives you a little bit of flexibility in your feasting window. And Deb from Boulder, welcome. Connie, oh, I always say Connie, and I know it's Joy, but I think I just read Connie before I read Joy. So Joy, welcome. It's so good to have you here as well. Okay, let me welcome my friends over here from YouTube and see what kind of comments we have going on here. Kelly from South Carolina, so good to have you here. Linda from Ontario, September course alumni and our January course. Ellen, good evening from Sweden. What time is it in Sweden, Ellen? And I love the way you spell your name too. Deborah from Nevada and the January course, Serendipity, you're welcome. Susie, you said you react to coconut oil. Would you elaborate? Okay, so coconut oil is a nut, basically, right? So if you have nut allergies or anything like that, you have to be careful of coconut. And what my husband and I were finding when we were using coconut oil and MCT oil kind of in conjunction, that it was too much for our system. So I broke out in like an allergic type of reaction. My eyes would swell up and just overall didn't feel good, and like fuzzy allergy type of feelings in my head. My husband ended up having equilibrium problems. And then at the same time we were going through this, probably because we were following someone else's protocol for things, we had some other friends that were kind of following the same type of protocol, and they actually ended up going into anaphylactic shock and had never had problems with coconut before. So I think coconut oil is that thing that you have to, and especially the MCT oils, because they're so concentrated, you have to be really careful about listening to those signs and signals that your body is sending you, and it can be one of those things that you can overdo. So what we did is we just cut it out completely and then reintroduced coconut oil in foods that we were preparing. So we were no longer just taking like single shots of it, and we weren't necessarily putting it in our coffee anymore or anything like that, and just using it to like make, sweet potato fries, or we used it in baking, and we've noticed that we don't have the same type of reactions. But when we were reacting, I was sort of like overusing it. I was using it for like face cream and hand lotion and drinking it in my coffee and drinking shots of it to suppress my appetite, and we were using it with cooking, and I think we just overdid it. So it is one of those things you have to kind of be aware of. It is an allergen type of product where a lot of people do have allergic reactions to it. So if you're not feeling well, when you're doing a regimen of things, the first thing I always suggest to do is take the allergen or the known problematic foods out, and coconut oil would be one of those foods, just because so many people do have problems with it. So I hope that answers that question. Ida from Texas, November alumni and 2018 student, watching you from work. Ooh, good for you, girlfriend. That's called multitasking. Serendipity, you're going in and out. Oh, try going out and coming back in and see if the feed works better for you. Kitty Cat, loved yesterday, RE, GI, gut issues, been 4 years now. Awesome. Good for you.
It's better now.
It's better now?
Yeah, YouTube was going in and out. It's okay now.
It's better? Okay, cool.
It still looks really bright though.
Okay, I don't know why either. Doreen from Scotland, holiday mini course. Susan, kind of liking this earlier time. Yeah, Susan, we do too. But we got to keep the nighttime time for those people too. So I think kind of alternating it is going to be good for a while. And then we'll kind of reevaluate things when summer hits. Lisa, same issue going in and out. Okay, Michael says it's gotten a little better. So hopefully that is better on YouTube. And if it's not, you can always jump over to Facebook because we do it at the same time over there too. What about keto plus inter? What does that mean? Serendipity. Kathy from Utah, Angela from Tulsa, Lizette from chilly Austin. I know, girlfriend, it's chilly here too. Milena, hello again from Luxembourg. Love the early live broadcast, holiday mini course and alumni. Oh, I love that you guys can jump in at a normal time for you over in Luxembourg and Sweden, and my ladies in London and stuff like that. So I'm glad you guys can be here. Susan, another good book is Gut and Psychology Syndrome, Gut and a Psychology Syndrome, I think it is, by Dr. Natasha Campbell McBride. Even though it advocates healing diet, it has super biology info. Yeah, I always love those kind of books too. And my advice with reading nutrition books is the same way I suggest reading like personal development or business books, is that read it and then sort of pause on it and then figure out like 1 or 2 things that you can take away from it and implement into your life. Reading those kind of books should never be an intention to overhaul your life according to their book, because that's like a diet. So you don't necessarily want to do that. Just take something out and go, gosh, does that make sense for my life? And if it does, implement it. And if it doesn't, then don't. And then what I always also suggest is rereading books after a few months, or maybe when you're in a different season in life. And then what you're going to find is 1 or 2 more new things that might now apply to your life that maybe didn't apply then. So you never want to just cookie cutter something and immediately take that and put it in your life, because then you're not living your life authentically. You're living your life by someone else's suggestion and design. But 1 or 2 things I think is always great. And then it gives you time to exercise them and see if they're really working for you. Cheryl Zimmerman from Idaho signed up for February course. Can't wait and have been trying to implement what I have learned just from your videos. Listening to your videos, and I'm in between students. Oh, nice. Yeah, because you're a teacher, I believe. Great. Thanks for reaching out to me via email too. Hopefully I was able to answer your questions. Chris, January group. What causes a dull pain under my left rib during fasting? I don't know. Have you never felt that pain before? Lisa, I'm a graduate from July and alumni. Just wanted to know if I'm okay drinking peppermint tea while fasting. Feeling great, back in the wagon, skin clear, less bloated, and loads of energy. Lisa, here's what I say about those kind of things in a fasted state when you feel what I call healed. We know that if we put things with flavor into our fasting window, that we have the potential opportunity to take us out of a clean fasted state. But being in a deep clean fasted state, if you feel like you're healthy and healed and compromising your state of ketosis is not of concern for you, then I don't think something like a peppermint tea is really going to be something that's going to be detrimental to you. But if you're doing it on a regular basis, and then you feel like you're losing your energized sense of calm, or maybe you're losing some of those signs and signals of being in a truly fasted state, then cut the peppermint tea out again for a little while and see if those things come back. And then you have to weigh whether it's worth it or not. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. And that may be where you just build in a little bit of flexibility and pick certain days of the week where you're going to have peppermint tea, and then certain days when you're not, and then you'll have a deeper fast on some days and deeper fast on, and not such a deep fast on others. So I always say that's one of those things that you can consider when you're healed. When you're in our course and you're healing and you're trying to really tap into the signs and signals that your body's sending you, I highly recommend that you stay in a truly fasted state while we're fasting through the course, because I want you to be able to figure out what it feels like to actually heal your body. So I hope that answered that question for you. Serena, looking forward to attending the February course. Question, will coconut oil in your morning black coffee get you out of a fasted state? Serena, yes, it will. Barbara, not having the bulletproof coffee, taking vitamins during fasting clean, broke my 5-month plateau, down 4 pounds since January course. Barbara, you're down 4 pounds since the January course. It is January 11th, and we started on the 4th of January? So congratulations, that's amazing. And it's gonna get better, so keep doing what you're doing, girlfriend. Valerie, can you share what you eat during your fasting period? How do you get all your calories in? Valerie, I don't do that in like this public forum because I don't believe that what I do to a T is going to be good for what someone else needs to do. So I can tell you how I consider plating my food and my feast, and it's always high fat, moderate to low protein, and conscious carbohydrates. And I figure out the foods that work best to make me look and feel my best and live my most authentic life. Those foods are completely different for other women. So in the course, I teach you how to figure that out for yourself based on what it is that makes you emotionally happy, along with getting you the results that you want to have from your fasting and your feasting. So I can't tell you exactly what I eat because it's different every day. Susie, thank you, from sunny Arizona, about 10 degrees cooler than last week. Oh my gosh, 66 today? That must be nice. I love your videos. Fasting now 18 hours plus trying to keto. Nice. Kitty Cat, 4 years ago, GI issues, gave up gluten, dairy, fake food, sugar. I fasted 15 hours daily, felt great. Now I'm fatigued, flushed, fast heartbeat, 800 calories, too little for a 44-year-old, causing symptoms. Well, 4 years ago, you were 40 and now you're 44, and a lot happens in that kind of 4-year time span as far as women in hormonal changes. So you're in a different season at 44 than you were at 40. So we got to consider that first and foremost. So what's happening with the hot flashes and the heartbeat could be what it is you're actually doing in your feasting window. And until you're fat adaptive, yeah, the 800 calories might not be enough. So you want to make sure that you're fasting clean, you're fasting long, and you're feasting well. And when you get fat adaptive, how many calories you have in your feasting window doesn't matter, because your body's going to make up the difference. And we teach that the first week of the course, and why you don't have to count calories or count macros anymore. So you're probably just in a transition from going from being a sugar burner to a fat burner still, and you haven't really touched into the fat adaptive state yet. Jessica Casserly, thank you for being here. Girlfriend, I know you've been wanting these 3 o'clock time frames, so I'm glad you're here with us. Amy, in April, I will be in the IF for life. Oh, I will be in the IF life for 1 year. I'm going to sign up for the February class, though. I want to be part of your new course. Awesome, Amy. It'll be so good to have you. And make sure you use your discount code that we've given you guys for being students in the past. And Amy had some great results too. She's my cousin, and she is a completely different woman now, a year later, than she was before. I've seen her transition in so many ways, and it's been so fun to watch, not only because she's had great results, but because she's my cousin, and I'm loving everything that she's doing. And she has an amazing fitness community on Facebook that she supports, which I think is fabulous, because she's now paying it forward as well, sharing the love for being a healthy woman in today's world. So Amy, you touch my heart in so many ways. Paige, within the 24-hour time period, if you are feeling calm and not frantic, is it better to fast 20 hours rather than, say, 18? The longer the better. Paige, what we're going to learn in our course through the fasting week or the feasting week and the social and emotional week is what happens beyond your comfortable hours, right? In reaching the sweet spot, which for most women has been the 20-hour period. So we go from being a sugar burner to a fat burner, being in a state of ketosis, to actually entering in the initial phases of autophagy. And all of those stages happen at different hour marks for different women. So when we start to study what autophagy can do for us, you'll understand where pushing yourself maybe to that 20-hour time frame might be beneficial for you, and you'll know by that kind of the changes that are happening in your body. Amy, you touched my heart too. Oh, girlfriend, we need to come see you. We'll do I'm completely different and love it. Yep, you are. And so is Christine. So she has her best friend coming along with her, which is always nice to have a friend on the journey with you. Let's see, Veronica, in March it will be my 1 year of IF here from from Suriname. Oh, good to have you. 1 year. Awesome. So yeah, 1 year. I always say if you've done something for a year, it's pretty much a lifestyle. So you should have the experience and the knowledge and the comfortableness with it that you can kind of jump in and out as life goes on too. So you can go on vacation and maybe not be so strict with your intermittent fasting, and maybe not so strict with the keto-like lifestyle. You can come back from a vacation and jump right back in with ease. And our bodies have this amazing muscle memory, right? So your body's going to understand the benefits of being a fat burner and understand those advantages of being in a fat burning state. And when you're emotionally healed, because I consider healing a 2-part phase, emotionally and physically. And when you're emotionally healed from a bunch of those dieting scars and just bad experiences that we've had in the past, and you're really comfortable in the state of feasting, and you're okay with the slip up here and there, and emotionally you have a better relationship with what's going on with your body, then jumping in and out is a lot easier too. So yeah, 1 year mark is a pretty good place to be. Carrie, thank you for having this available for us to be here. Oh, awesome, Carrie, we love it. Ruthie, thank you so much. Hope to join in March. Interested info on epilepsy. Have family members that can utilize. We'll mention your comments to them. Yeah. So Ruthie, do research on epilepsy and ketosis. There's tons out there, and the ketogenic diet has been used for a very long time to help people with epilepsy. So tons of research out there. Just Google it. Lori Lewis, I bought a high quality bottle of MCT oil and it makes me dizzy. Good thing I noticed it. Yeah. As if you get those kind of reactions, it's not worth it. There's so many other things that you can do. And remember, what we're doing by merging fasting and merging a keto-like lifestyle together means that neither one of them has to be exercised to the extreme. flexible intermittent fasting and the keto-like. Remember, the like part of it is where we build in the flexibility. We don't have to count macros. We don't have to be hypersensitive about a lot of foods that we're eating. We don't have to go off the deep end and live on bacon and pork rinds and heavy creams. We don't have to we can live it moderately and consciously, and then use common sense nutritional guidelines, right? And know that if we put trashy food in our body, we end up with a trashy result. So use common sense nutritional guidelines, live the high fat, moderate to low protein, conscious carbohydrate feasting lifestyle, and incorporate the flexible intermittent fasting. And then you can live your life calmly and not frantically chasing a number, not frantically chasing compartmentalized food, not having to chase meal prepping and heavy grocery shopping and storing stuff in the fridge so you can eat every 2 hours. You don't have to do that anymore. Everything can be very casual and very moderate, and I think that's the best thing. Is it okay to bake some keto desserts sweetened with stevia? I'm so addicted and I'm struggling with really wanting sweet to finish off a meal. Okay, Jean, when you are craving carbohydrates, it's a signal that your hunger hormones are out of balance, right? So you need to get your hunger hormones in balance, and the best thing to do when you're craving sweets is to just kind of get through the craving period and get your fats high, get your fat adaptive, get those hunger hormones balanced out, and then you won't have those cravings as often. So a craving for something is usually because you aren't balanced out yet. And those are, you're probably talking about like fat bombs and keto bombs and all those kind of things. You really don't need those if everything else that you're eating is just a real food source and you're not sugar dependent anymore. Okay, let me see what are the comments here, and then I'll go back over to YouTube. Candace, yes, I'm low carb but not overly high fat, so lean meats like chicken, salmon, eggs, and lots of greens. Yep, that's good too. Again, everybody's body is different. There are body types that just do better on higher amounts of lean animal protein, and then there's other body types that do better on a plant-based diet. And there's some people who just really do well on super, super high fat diets. So that's where you got to figure out the combination for you, and figure out what that plate is going to look like when you make it up. I'm finding that I do better, and I've kind of known this in my life in the past. I do better with less animal protein and more of a plant-based diet. But I know that there are people out there that just need that extra protein. So you just got to figure that out. My suggestion is always just make sure you have true food protein and you're not filling yourself up with a bunch of quick fix elixirs, is what I like to say. So just make sure you're doing that. Okay, let me see who else is over here on YouTube. I'm gonna start from the bottom. Let's see, Susan. If you don't want to waste your MCT oil, use it with your salad dressing. You won't get as much at a sitting. Yeah, so I think it's when you're taking it in that really condensed form and maybe even on an empty stomach. So yeah, using it to bake with maybe, or putting it in a salad dressing might be good. What about popcorn and grass-fed butter? So we don't do dairy in our house, so grass-fed butter makes us nauseous and bloated. It's a dairy. So my husband and I, when we were jumping on the bandwagon of doing what everybody else was doing, and we were doing our bulletproof coffee, we were making ourselves very sick by, one, overdoing the coconut oil, and two, putting butter in our coffee when we're dairy free. So having a higher quality of something that your body can't tolerate doesn't make it better. It just means you're still going to not tolerate it. So we don't do butter because we can't break it down. If you can break down dairy, then I say grass-fed butter is your best option. I personally also don't eat popcorn. I don't eat corn in any form, because corn is one of those things that just makes me feel super fatigued. It makes me feel like I have like huge inflammation in my eyes. If I have corn, the next morning I wake up and it feels like someone had their feet pressed against my face all night. It feels like all kinds of pressure. And so after enough of those exposures, I figured out it was corn. Even non-GMO popcorn makes me feel the same way. So I don't eat corn chips, I don't eat popcorn, I don't eat anything with cornmeal in it or corn fillers or corn additives. I don't eat any corn. If you can eat popcorn and you don't feel any reaction from it, then yeah, popcorn's fine. Just know that it's corn, and it's going to be one of those higher sugar, higher carb kind of things. but that's okay if you can handle it. And make it a little fattier by cooking it in some coconut oil. I would say cook it on your stovetop. Don't do microwave popcorn, and add some good fats to it, and that'll make it a little bit better. Is baked potato okay for last thing you eat with vegan butter? I don't know. You have to try that out for yourself. I have cut out so many starchy carbs out of my life and filler carbs that I don't ever hesitate eating a potato. I love potatoes. I love French fries. I love sweet potatoes. I love white potatoes. I love red potatoes. I love potatoes. So we eat potatoes pretty frequently in our house. They don't seem to bother me. That's the thing you'll have to test for yourself. And I don't work time of day I eat my potato either, because I fast for 18 to 20 hours and I exercise. So I will burn off any of the carbs that I have in my body. And when I'm exercising, I tend to eat more potatoes in the evening. So I have some of that readily available stored glycogen in my system to burn off through an exercise bout. And then I burn it all out of my system and I don't worry about it. Dorothy, you can join the February group by the link that's in the feed here, or you can come over to my Facebook page and you can click the link there. And any video on my YouTube channel that has an intermittent fasting video associated with it, there's a link that you can click to join the group there. So it's everywhere. Let's see. I think I got everybody's stuff. Okay, y'all need to stop bragging about how warm it is. It's 66 in Houston. That's crazy. Lucky you. Okay, enjoy that 66-degree weather. And then we'll post pictures of, if it snows here tonight, we'll post pictures of you guys to see, so you can feel sorry for us
Right now.
ex-Californians living in Texas in the snow. Okay, anything else we have going on YouTube here? I think I got everybody's questions and comments over there. I'm curious about, let's see, I think Lorianne jumped over here to YouTube. Let's see what she's got. Okay, so Susanna, March will be the 1 year mark for me. I've lost 30 pounds and feel so good in my gut and my own skin. I've got several friends and family that are following my lead and loving it along with me. Thank you for your help and educational support. Susanna, good for you. And it's always great to have, to bring people along on the journey with us. It makes, it just makes life more fun when everybody's on the same page. And then the peer pressure and ridicule and I call it, nutritional like discrimination almost, or when there's like prejudice against people who aren't like you, like all those things go away when you have your friends come with you and they stop criticizing you, and it makes everything so much more fun. So congratulations, not only for the success that you've had, but for paying it forward and bringing people along with you on your journey. That's a really big deal, and that's a good thing.
You have a bunch of comments you missed over on Facebook.
Okay, I'm gonna get them right now. Jessica, you always make it seem so simple. We put so much pressure on ourselves to be perfect. Yeah, we do, and you have to let go of that, because honestly, in the end, Jessica, no one cares. Like, no one really cares. They're going to criticize you or maybe pass judgment on you, but then they're going to go off and onto someone else and do the same thing. So I think as soon as we take the pressure off of ourselves, then whatever pressure that comes from the outside world to us is going to be so insignificant that it won't matter. So we have to look inward first, make sure that we're not putting pressure on ourselves to be perfect. We have to let go of the hangups that we have, the emotional guilt that we have, some of the scars that we have, some of the, even the preconceived feelings we have about our body and our body image and all those kind of things. We got to let all that go. And for me, that transition happened probably a couple years ago when I was going through all of this, and my journey with intermittent fasting and feasting well. The intermittent fasting part of it is where I completely healed everything in my life. The emotional things in my life, the physical things in my life, some of the spiritual things in my life, my health issues, because it afforded me the opportunity to slow down enough to realize what was going on and to have the energy, both physically, mentally, and emotionally, to pay attention to myself. And as moms especially, and a lot of us are working moms, we end up being the ones in the situations where we put ourselves last, and eventually that starts to break us down. So when you have the extra time and you have the extra energy and you have the extra confidence and you've built up that empowerment that you can take care of yourself, and you put what you know is good common sense to practice, it is simple. We overcomplicate it. And so slow down enough to simplify things for yourself, and then things will start to correct themselves, and you will have that inner peace and sense of calm. And Jessica, I know some of the stuff that you're doing to yourself, because you and I have that close, intimate relationship with one another, and you deserve to let some of that go so that you can heal on the inside and be at peace, so that you can be more present for you and the people that you love. So take a little bit of the pressure off of yourself, and don't work so hard to be perfect, because you're going to exhaust yourself trying to get there. And seriously, in the end, no one cares. You won't even care. And then it'll all be for nothing. So just take a deep breath. Everything's going to be okay. Janet, I like what I hear about plant-based, but it just doesn't work for me. Yeah, it doesn't work for everyone. So don't put pressure on yourselves on that either. And I'm the same way. Last night, Michael and I had like fried up broccoli and some steamed cauliflower and a half of an avocado for dinner. But tonight we're going to have chicken. So we just take the pressure off of always feeling like we have to have a meat protein present. And that's okay. You don't always have to have it present in your life. There's a protein in every aspect of food that you're eating. So I think it's the over proteining ourselves that we have to be careful of. But having a meal that's just plant-based every couple nights of the week is okay too. And that's, again, where I say don't fall into the traps of being in a certain paradigm of feeding, right? I'm not a vegan. I eat vegan-like, or, I'm not even dairy-free because I put manchego cheese on my cauliflower last night. And we put, some other, cheeses or flavorings in our food. So I'm not completely dairy-free. I've just figured out the dairy that doesn't bother me anymore. The only thing that I'm completely free of is soy, and that because it is making me the sickest. Even gluten, every now and then I'll make a conscious decision to have something that has gluten in it, and I just know how to offset the reactions now, or how to identify the negative reactions in my body from gluten. And so I've stopped beating myself up about it because I made a conscious decision to put it in. So, that's just that thing where you just take the pressure off and you just realize that you don't have to have meat at every meal. I also can't be completely plant-based because that seems exhausting to me. And every now and then I just want a piece of salmon or a piece of chicken. So I think you just have to find your own healthy balance with everything. Thanks for the MCT tip. I hate to waste it. It may have to be the coffee oil combo. I'll try to use it in salads. Yeah. Lori Ann says, Di, I'm curious as to what your take is on cordyceps and chaga mushroom coffee mix. I just heard about this on a show today. I don't know. I think it's one of those things that, if it works for you, it works for you. I think there's some polyphenols, I think it was, in the mushroom. So yeah, it's great. Do you have to go all out extreme with those? No. I'm of really the philosophy this year of doing a lot of nothing and healing my body that way, because I am a quick fix elixir girl and I am a supplement girl and I love experimenting with all of those things. And some of them have a very proper place in our lives, and then some of them are just sort of a fad thing that will come and go. I think the show we were watching today was talking about how last year it was iced coffee, this year it's cold brew coffee, I think, or this year's cold brew coffee, and now it's the mushroom thing for polyphenols. So someone just came up with a way to grind down and powderize mushrooms so you could put it in coffee and sell it to you. So I say try it. If it works for you and you enjoy it, then yeah, go ahead, for sure. Is it the be all end all? No, not at all. Let's see, what else? -15, Cindy, where are you? Lori Lewis, I love that my friends are in the course with me. 5 of them are on this call. Awesome. Lori, you're a killer. I think Lori invited 16 people to our course in January. She's killing it. Trudy, hate to brag, but it's 76 here in Florida. We had winter from January 1st to January 8th. Trudy. Goals for 2018. Jessica, you need to call me, girlfriend. We can hook you up for sure. It just takes a quick phone call and I can set you straight. Carrie, this is extremely exciting. I'm ready to go for the next level of health. I've been in bed 6 for 11 days now, and God is really speaking to my heart to slow down. Good. Yep, sometimes that's what happens. So just take care of yourself, girlfriend. Janet, haven't cut out meat, but in reality, I never fix it for myself. I enjoy it when I go out with friends for dinner. Yeah, that's awesome. And we do that too. People always are like, Diane, can you give us recipes? Can you tell us how you eat at home? You guys would be so bored if you ate with us at home, because literally we had cauliflower and broccoli for dinner last night. We don't make souffles and casseroles and those kind of things at our house. It's boiled and broiled and baked kind of things. We go out to dinner when we want things that are fancy and have more than like 3 ingredients in it, because I'm just not a cook like that. I just don't have the time and the energy to do that. Maybe I will when my kids are not as busy or whatever, but Right now, we just eat very simply. So I think, yeah, find a way to up your ante with your food, and if it's going out to eat, it's going out to eat. And that's what we do for us here, is we just go out to eat. We want it to be fancy. Shirley, I am loving the program and the community. Getting to know myself again has been a blessing. Thank you for sharing all of that you are with us. Oh, Shirley, thanks for trusting me with you. You guys, that means so much to me. Pippa, any tips for tummy rolls? I have had a bad back for 4 months, but exercise daily. Am doing a dry January. What does a dry January mean? Pippa, I fast 16/8 once a week, but post-menopause after IF for 5 years and based in the UK. So Pippa, 16 hours might not be enough if you're talking about like hormonal belly fat. The fastest way to get hormonal belly fat to go away is balance out your hormones, get your hormones, your hunger hormones especially in check. And 16 hours is probably not a long enough period of time to do that. What we find is for women, there's a sweet spot around the 20-hour mark. So I would say extend your fasting time. Oh, no alcohol is the dry part. Yeah, so that's a good part, because you're going to just cut out a lot of those sugar alcohols. And consider joining our course online. We teach you how to do all of that. It's hormonal for sure. And we don't think about our hunger hormones as being the root cause of us having all of that hormonal body fat. And our hunger hormones just naturally get out of whack as we age, because our hormone changes and our body chemistry changes. So Pippa, I would love to have you in our February course. I teach you guys all of that. And what you'll see with the comments that are here in this community is that within days you start to notice a difference. So I'd love to have you. Brooke from Tampa, I was stuck in a plateau for the last month, so I have been transitioned from 16/8 to 21/3. I'm 4 days in and 4 pounds down, trying to see how long I can go. My wedding is coming up in November. Well, Brooke, the best thing I suggest for you to do is to create a lifestyle. So whatever you're doing, don't do it in the extremes. Create something that helps you live within what it is that you're doing to get results, but can be your authentic self in as well. So you have to consider that if you have these great strides that you're making during this time pre-wedding, then you want to create habits and lifestyles that you can have post-wedding. Because the worst thing you could do to yourself is have all these great results happen for you and then have a wedding and then go back to your old self if you weren't happy with your old self. So create slow, gradual changes that are authentic for yourself so that you can live this lifestyle as a married woman as well, would be the best thing that I could recommend. Shirley, I'm loving the program and the community. Okay, I already read that. Okay, cool. Well, I have to go get kids from school, so I'm going to jump off for now. Debbie, can you tell me a little bit more about what I was talking about? Is it one course or different ones? What do you do the course? Okay, so Debbie, really quickly, and then I'm going to jump off. We have a monthly course that we run. It's actually a 3-week course where we go through different categories of learning how to fast and feast correctly and how to heal our bodies, not only on a physical, mental well-being side of things, but also emotionally with what it is that we're doing with our fasting and our feasting. So our next course starts February 3rd. There's a link in the comments, Debbie, so just scroll down and you'll see it there. And we have an amazing community of women who just kind of join together and go on the journey together. And then what we do is after the course is over, we move you guys all into a group where you guys can hang out together and kind of help each other continue on with the lifestyle. So yeah, I would say that would be the best thing for you to do. And then you can just get all the information when you click on the link. So that would be the best thing. And then we just tagged you, I believe, right above your comment. It's my name with the link to the course for February 3rd. Okay, so you guys have a fantastic weekend. We're loving this 3 o'clock time frame. I'm loving the fact that you guys can get on at a more comfortable time when you're living in the eastern side of the world compared to where we are. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you to all my loyal course mates who are jumping on with us and sharing their stories with what they've been doing with their fasting and feasting. I love you guys so much, and I will see you Monday night at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, both here on YouTube and Facebook. If you have any comments or questions that you would like to share with me in the meantime, always feel free to email or private message me on either Facebook or YouTube. I will go in and answer any kind of questions or comments that I can to help you either decide to jump in with us on our course or some basic information to get you started. And then, like I said, if it snows here tonight, pay attention on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, and I'm sure we'll be posting our experience of what we have going on in our weather here. Fast long, feast well, and make sure you are always speaking kind words to yourself as you're going through your day. I'll see you guys on Monday.